Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm saying that those of you, your bank account will look different if you stop being fake. God can't bless you while you fake. You would already be in a relationship if you stopped being fake. If you would have just told him who you are off the cuff, he would have accepted you. But you thought you had to be fake, and the fact that you was fake and he caught you in the lie, that's why he ain't with you. If you just would have told him off the cuff, this is what you getting, he probably would have been like that. You still had that job if you hadn't lied and said you knew Excel. You just should have said you don't know Excel, but you need the job though. You done went in on Excel. You didn't even know Excel. You done got fired. They gave your first week. They were like, all right, we got this Excel spreadsheet. You like Excel. On your resume, you put you was Excel'd out. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you most of us are so desperate. Most of us are crying to God. Most of us are saying we're not where we want to be. And God is saying you're not where you want to be because you fake. You a phony. You're trying to pretend to people to be something you're not. That if you would just be honest, you would be further along. Listen to me. We connected to God, y'all. We don't have to be fake. We don't have to be fake anymore. I wanted to free you up. I remember when I used to be fake. I remember when, and I wasn't trying to be fake. I just felt I wasn't going to be accepted if I wasn't who they thought I was. Does that make sense? So I was what I thought you wanted me to be so that you could accept me. And then God says that you're trying to be something that you're not, so you're never going to be accepted. So just be whatever you are. Nobody's preaching to you to be something else. I'm telling you that when God created you, he had something in mind. We need to be that. I remember Trey Hayden used to tell me all the time, you're minor in your major, you're majoring in your minor. I used to be like, what in the world? He like, bruh, you need to be more. I didn't realize that God did take me to Oakwood, but he didn't want me to take the same path that many of my friends that were in theology. God wanted me to go back in the world. So I looked forward to my boy because it wasn't what? This is what God always had for me. But there was a time where I would be what Trey or Irv wanted me to be, because when I wasn't that, it didn't seem like they accepted me the same way they accepted me when I dressed the way they wanted me to dress. When I talked the way they wanted me to talk. And perhaps if I would have just been myself, they still would have accepted me. I just felt like they wouldn't accept me if I was myself. And so I pretended to be something I wasn't. And I wasted a whole bunch of time because I ended up coming back to myself. And we still cool. Irv was just at Michigan State. We still cool. So God is saying you don't have to be fake. I know you in your mother's innermost parts before you were created. Come on, before you were born, I knew you. If you got a sexual addiction, just tell me. If you an alcoholic, just tell me. If you can't read, just tell me. God says when you was at Oakwood, you couldn't read. Why didn't you just tell me you couldn't read? Why was you faking it like you could read and you were skipping class, not because you wanted to skip, but you skipped on the days that they was going to make you read out loud. You should have just confessed you couldn't read and I could have helped you. Just telling you, some of you in this room, man, God got so much for you and you can't get it because you're being fake. So I want you to think about an area. Go back to the definition. I want you to think about an area according to the word forward where you can go forward. The adverb, in the direction one is facing or traveling toward the front. I press toward the mark of a higher. I press toward. Don't nobody press backwards. You don't press backwards. You press forward. And there are those of you in this room, because of what you've been through, you are quitting. You are giving up. You are surrendering. That is not God-like. That is not a characteristic of God. God didn't give you that. The enemy told you to be by yourself. The enemy told you to be lonely. Why? Because when he rejected God, he ran from God. Don't you run from God. Don't you run from your calling. Don't you run from your gift. Don't you run from the struggle. That struggle is meant to make you strong.